Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today, we have the Steel Will Arcturus. This is a brand new model from them. How new? It's available for pre-order today. It just came out. It's April 8th, 2019, as I'm recording this. Just came out today on pre-order. I was able to get one a little bit early because I have a pretty good relationship with Steel Will. So they email me and say, hey, do you want to try something new? And I always say yes, because I like Steel Will stuff. They make some really cool knives. So full disclosure, yes, this was provided by manufacturer. It is available for pre-order today, as I said on the website. $64.99 is what they are charging for this, the mini version. This is the 3 1/4 inch blade. There's also a 3 3/4 inch blade. We'll talk about the differences between them here in just a moment. Judging by what their other knives cost, like the Lanner, that I know what they charge on their website compared to what the MSRP is compared to what it costs street price, for lack of a better term. I would guess this is going to be about $55 when it's available on your regular sites. One of those sites will be, I'm sure, because he always gets Steel Will stuff very, very quickly, WhiteMountainKnives.com. I do have a little code with them, SDWMK, at checkout. You get 10% off. So if you're willing to wait, I don't know how long it's going to be. Not going to be more than a week or two, because they're already up for pre-order. Week or two, you can get another 10% off of that. So you're looking at what, $50 basically if you go through that. $55 if you go through your other favorite knife retailer, your Blade HQ, whoever it is. But this is a little bit of a different departure. They are pumping out a lot of these D2 G10 knives, and I like it. I think it's a very good direction for them to take. I don't think they're getting rid of their previous standard of the FRN D2 knives, like the Cut Jack and the Modus. I think they're going to stick with those because they just updated those, added some new colors and stuff. But they are adding more of these that are slightly more expensive, and they feel it. They really do. I like the construction on all of them. I've really liked all of them, but this one is a bit swoopier than the others. I'm going to say it's a bit more stylized, I guess, for lack of a better word, and I do kind of like it. There's no designer listed or anything like that, so this is an in-house design, I would assume. You see, pretty swoopy blade, very swoopy handle, and as I said, D2 steel, G10 handles, running on bronze washers. This one is on these red standoffs. There is also a green handled version with this satin blade. If you get the mini, the minis have the satin blade. The larger ones have that Steel Will black wash blade, which I do really like now. Honestly, when they sent me an email saying, do you want one? I just said, yeah, that one, and I didn't look to see the differences in sizes. I probably would have gotten the 3 3/4 inch with the black handle and the black wash blade. I don't normally like coated blades, but Steel Will's black wash is really nice. I had a piercer like that I gave away to you guys, but it does look really, really nice. I probably would have gotten that just to get the bigger one. I really like the size of this one, but I have other Steel Wills in this size. But it's still even in this size, it's really, really cool. So I'm not horribly disappointed that I got the wrong one at all, and I will be carrying this one a lot. I already have since I got it. But pretty cool, bit of a departure for them. Not as far as materials go, but as far as just the style. You'll see in a moment. I'm going to bring out some of the other knives in the same price, the other 2 new ones this year they've come out with, and we'll see that this one is just a bit swoopier, more stylized. Pretty cool knife from them. Let's do some stats before I ramble on any farther. We have, get back to my proper page here, we have an overall length of 7.8 inches. Blade length, as I said, 3 1/4 inches. There's also a 3 3/4 inch blade version. Blade thickness a bit thicker than some of the others that they've come out with recently. This is 0.14 inches. Handle thickness, dead on 1/2 inch, and a weight of 3.28 ounces on my scale, which is exactly what they say on their website. So they get the golf clap. Good job, guys. You got the weight exactly right. I always give a golf clap when they do that. This particular one, as I said, is the F55M01. That indicates the color, and M means mini. D2 satin G10 black with the red standoffs. All right, let's do some size comparisons and get moving on here. We're not going to do a ton because of our standards, because I want to talk more about other knives in this range. So from Steel Will. So try to match the pivots here. This is your Spyderco PM2 and your Spyderco Para 3, as you'd expect. Kind of sits in the middle of those. Getting a lot of cutting edge out of this. There's no forward finger choil. This is really just a sharpening choil. So you can see when you line up the cutting edge, you're getting just as much cutting edge as you are out of the PM2. Now let's bring out some of the other steel wheels here. So this, we're going to bring out, first of all, the first two. This is the steel wheel piercer. This is the more expensive $110 version with the titanium frame lock, but the G10 liner lock that's exactly material-wise identical to this is exactly the same size and shape and all that. And the steel wheel mini lanner. The lanner is similar into this, this is the mini version and 3 1/4 inch blade, and it also comes in a larger one. So you can see way more cutting edge on the lanner, and it equal at least to what's on the piercer, but as far as handle length goes, kind of between the two. Let's just do this and try and line them up against that thing there. Yeah, you can see handle wise, kind of between the two. I know it looks like the G10 is a little bit longer on the piercer, but in the hand the piercer does feel a bit bigger. So I'm still going to say kind of between the two. And these are all very similarly priced if you're getting the liner lock versions of both of them. And especially on the piercer. These two don't come in a titanium frame lock. I've said before, I'd recommend you get the liner lock. I have the titanium one because that's what I wound up with. I think I gave away the liner lock version in one of my giveaways, and I miss it. Yeah, that's where it fits in. As you can see, as I said, a lot more swoopier, more stylistic. I think that's good. I think it's good for them to kind of, give some people some options. And they've definitely given some people some options this year. If you follow Steel Wheel, it seems like they do a burst of designs and then don't do anything for a bit and then do a burst of designs. I have no problem with that. Some knife companies come out with way too many knives. Every week it seems like there's a new one. Steel Wheel does release a lot of designs, but I like their release schedule. It's pretty standard. They've had a few they've been announcing for a really long time and we haven't seen yet, the Antlock and stuff like that, which I'm really excited to get my hands on. But yeah, I like the construction of it. I like the quality of it. It feels very nice. I think they do feel nicer than, I don't have my Modus at the moment. I actually loaned it out to a friend, but I do like the feel of these better. These are less expensive, the FRN ones. This is the mini cut jack. But I do just like the feel of these better. I think it's worth the extra money. But, that may just be me. If you're just beating on a knife, the FRN is going to be fine. But these do feel a little bit nicer. As far as this blade, yeah, look, it is very kind of swoopy, Persian-y. It's not something I would normally like, but I don't hate it on this. It works well. We're going to kind of merge into the ergonomics section too, but I like the perfect place to rest your thumb to do detail kind of stuff. I do like that. No forward finger choil. I do normally like finger choils, but I'm okay with it on this one. This is really just an enlarged sharpening choil, but the ergos are good enough. It doesn't bother me. As I said, a little bit thicker than the lanner, I believe, has. I've got the notes up on that too. I pulled them both up so I could look at it. Yeah, the piercer is only 0.10 inches. The lanner is 0.12. So this is the thickest of the three. So if you're looking for something that's a bit heavier duty, the Arcturus is probably the one. But still fairly thin behind the edge, 20 thousandths. Not bad. Very high flat grind. Still great slicer. Still razor sharp out of the box, as I've come to expect from Steel Wheel. Just, yeah. Almost got my finger there. That would have been good to do on camera. You guys would have loved it. Yeah, it's super sharp out of the box and thin enough behind the edge. It's a really good slicer. I went and, cut up some cardboard stuff today, before I've only had this for less than a full day, but I got it really early this morning and I've been playing with it because I knew I wanted to get this up today because that's when the pre-order goes up. Did some cardboard cutting and stuff with it. It works great. It's perfectly fine. And the tip on it too, I do like that the tip is still pretty robust, which that's what you get for using a thicker blade stock. So again, I think this is kind of a heavier duty model than the other two. Well, yeah, it's a bit heavier duty than the other two. If you're going to be doing kind of stupid stuff, this is a bit tougher blade, thicker blade stock, all that stuff. Ergonomics, I kind of already talked about it a little bit, but it's really good. Yes, this handle looks very stylistic and swoopy and stuff, but it fits my hand perfectly. I have large size hands with skinny fingers. There is a very large finger cutout. Some people it may hit you, it may not. Hits me perfectly. And look, I've still got plenty of room. plenty of room. The jimping on here is really good. It's very grippy, but it's not like sharp. As I said before, I really love this kind of harpoony cutout on the top of this sort of, I guess you can't quite call it a Persian, but this swoopy blade. I do really like the ergos of it. It's been a pleasure to put in my hand while I was doing cardboard testing and stuff. It's very comfortable. Very, very good. Carry-wise, a bit of a different pocket clip for them, and I like it. I really like it. We'll bring out a Yield Wranglers here, but before we do that, these little cutouts and just two little screws. Obviously, it's a bit difficult to get past that last screw, but you don't really need to because it still sits in there pretty good, and you have hardly anything sticking out. So yeah, as you can see, that last little screw, yeah, you're not gonna regularly get past that. But still, even if you don't, it looks like nothing in your pocket. I don't think anybody would think that was a knife. It just doesn't. That tiny little bit sticking out. I really like it. Super easy to get your hand past. And the flipper tab is not objectionable at all when you're reaching past it. It's yeah, you see, it doesn't take up much room. It's great to carry. It really, really is. And as much as I'm a fan of deep carry pocket clips, and this one with this small amount up here, I do like that you just have a little bit there. Those two bolts make it super easy to pull out of your pocket. It gives you something to grab a hold of, which is excellent. Action-wise, it's pretty similar to what the other D2 phosphor bronze washer steel wheels have been. Rockets right out. Deployment is great. I don't find it to be, as far as my memory goes, now that I've placed them aside where I can't see them. There they are. I think the lanyard is a bit smoother. Again, I have a lot more use on this lanyard. But, yeah, see, the lanyard I find to be a bit smoother. Out of the box, I think it was a bit smoother. It's close enough, though, that it may just be a tolerance thing. It may not be like a design thing. But yeah, you got to give it a bit more of a shake, but still very smooth for phosphor bronze washers in this price range. Detent's very good. Yeah. Deployment is fine. It's not like mind-blowingly great. The lanyard has broken in to be really, really good. You'll see more of that in my long-term review. And I'm going to try and hold on to this long enough to do a long-term review also, because I think it will probably break in as well as the lanyard did. Pretty easy to take apart. You've got a T10 here, two T6s, and you got to watch out for these two little pins. They just kind of set in there. Not really sure why those are there. I guess they figured out they must be, needed somehow structurally. As you can see, it's not full liners. You just basically have enough. You have a liner for the liner lock, and then the other side is just G10, which is perfectly fine with me. I have no issues with that. It makes it lighter. That's how you get that weight. And, you're not going to get 3.3 ounces if you're not doing something like that. So very cool. I do like they're using that bright red anno they do, again, not to keep bringing it out. Like on the lanyard, I call it the full Vader, with the bright glowing red and the black. I do really like, it's not technically glowing. I know that, but it's close to it. Yeah, for what I assume is going to be $55, even the $65 they're charging on the website, it's a really nice knife. And it's a bit different from steel wheel. If you want something in this price range, it's a bit swoopy, a bit cool looking. And it's great ergos, really good blade, as I've come to expect from steel wheel. Excellent pocket clip. I'm as I have been with all the other steel wheels they've come out with this year. I'm very impressed with it. I do recommend it. It is definitely a thumbs up for me. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. As I said, I will link to Steel Will's website down below. You can go and pre-order one now if you want to. But if you want to wait around a week or so, they'll be available on your favorite knife retailer everywhere for a few bucks cheaper. Not dramatically so. I do like that about Steel Will. They don't charge. Their MSRP on their website isn't ridiculously higher than it is anywhere else. It's a little bit, but it's not a huge markup. So I will list that down below. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.